began in the fall of 1953, when a small group of people began meeting at the home of Mrs. Lavana Talley. And whereas since 1972, the congregation meets at 4470 Murfreesboro Road, with more than 200 attending Sunday morning worship assemblies. And whereas much has changed since those early days, much remains the same as it was those early days. And whereas the vision of the Church of Christ at Millview is still the same, to restore New Testament Christianity with a firm commitment to the principles that have traditionally characterized churches of Christ. And whereas the congregation strives to welcome all, speaking the truth in love, Ephesians 4:15, and to love those in their community and the world as God did, John 3:16. And whereas the Church of Christ at Millview has been active in good works in the state of Tennessee and around the world, and whereas the church has actively supported and been involved in Tennessee Children's Home for more than 30 years, now therefore it is resolved by the Board of Trustees on this 29th day of September 2016 that the Church of Christ at Millview of Franklin, Tennessee be named a sustaining congregation.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Tennessee Children's Home. First, one thing that I don't think was read, and that is the beginning of the Millview congregation, and one of the main one that helped start that was Brother John Vaughn. How many of you know Brother John Vaughn? The one that's been at Graymere for years, it was his dad helped start it. And that was the Donaldson. You mentioned the Donaldson congregation, and then our brother Wayne Toombs, he is the turkey man, and he's really a turkey. So. But he is the turkey man that brought turkeys here for years, turkeys for Thanksgiving and hams for Christmas, I believe is the way that went. And I don't know just how many years, and I don't think he remembers either, but he did that. And of course, Wayne and I served with several others as elders in that congregation for many years. And I can't remember when I didn't remember Tennessee Children's Home. My mother came here from the Wilson Home Demonstration Club in Marshall County to egg hunts way back when I was as far back as I can remember. So I have pictures of that somewhere, but I don't know where they are right now. But I've always heard of Tennessee Children's Home, and I have run into numerous people over the years that were, grew up at Tennessee Children's Home. And one of the last, or I guess most recent that I can remember, was Tom Harrison. I remember Tom Harrison. Of course, Tom is a preacher, and he was over at Cleveland, Tennessee for some time, and we heard him several times over there. And then he held a meeting a couple of years ago at Farmington Congregation, just north of Lewisburg. And I believe he is at Hillsborough in Coffee County now, if I'm right. But through the years, I have heard just numerous ones, and have never heard anything but the best of it. I believe Harold Daniels, who he and I grew up together. Harold was an elder at Church Street in Lewisburg, and I believe he was real active in the Tennessee Children's Home, if I'm not mistaken. Then you had a brother, Richter, that was there for a long, long time, and our new and only grandson-in-law is Will Richter. And I'm not sure what that connection is, but I feel like there's definitely some kind of connection. So we thank you all for being here and for what you have done for us, and we've enjoyed everything that we have done to Tennessee Children. Thank you.